keep your eyes on the prize. I can tell you what I'm seeing. You can have it if you dream it. Just be brave and you'll achieve it all. It all. I wanna know if you really want it, and if you do, then just shout it loud and clear. I wanna know if you really need it, and if you do, then just shout it loud and clear, loud and clear, loud and clear, loud and clear. Shout it loud and clear, loud and clear, loud and clear, loud and clear. Shout it loud and clear.
Hi, everybody. All right. Okay, folks, let's get started, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. Oh, hang on. So this guy doesn't start again here. Here we go. Let's get those guys over to the side. Just stay there, folks. Just stay there. Okay. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to, yes, let's get the recording going here. Okay. All right, it's 8:02. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to DayTradeSPY.com's weekly fireside chat. This is our introduction to trading preview of the coming week. And good to have you all here this evening. It is December the 28th, 2025, the last session of the year. And of course, yes, please use the questions box. You'll find a little questions box icon on your Zoom dashboard. Click on that. I'm the only one that sees that. Let me get in the frame here. There we go. And yeah. Hopefully we can have a little bit of fun. I'm not going to keep it too long here tonight. That's not the intent. I don't want to get any more than an hour. I say that every week, but it seems to happen that I do. I'm not really sure why, but anyway. All right, folks. Quick question here. Put in the questions box. The icon is in your Zoom dashboard there. The questions box. Where'd you find out about us? Did you see it on the website, an email? Did you get a social media post? How about a newsletter or other? Just put it in there. Just curious to see where you're finding out about this webinar and about Day Trade Spy in general. So, and I'm just going to give you a couple of seconds here. Did the Bills lose? Did you guys get the? Okay, I got the thing here about the Bills. I know they were losing when I saw them last year. Okay, Buffalo Bills. Let's see what they did here. I think they lost, didn't they? Final. Oh, lost to the Eagles 13-12. Not good. Not good. Okay, well, thanks for the update on that. Oh, that's too bad. Anyway, that reminds me, folks, we actually have a survey. So I put up a brief survey. It'll take about 30 seconds to fill. Just wait till the end of the webinar. I believe the survey is going to pop up on your screen at the end of the webinar. Just 6 questions. And one of them was, of course, who's going to win the Super Bowl this year. So I just kind of want to see. So what we're doing there is I just want to see what your predictions are for 2026. That's really what the survey is about. Okay. All right. So website, email, website, social media, newsletter, email, social media, email, newsletter. So, okay, cool. Okay. Welcome back, folks. All right. Let's get started. Okay. So good to hear from you. So I'm going to leave this up here for half a second here while you read through this. And oh, I see my Microsoft PowerPoint is not functioning properly. What is wrong with my PowerPoint? Slideshow. Okay, slideshow. Try this again. Okay, slideshow. Here we go. My PowerPoint crapped out on me here. Here we go. All right, you gotta read this. This is the disclaimer. The standard disclaimer keeps us out of jail, which is good. That's a good thing. Okay. And you alone are responsible for all your own trading, and past performance does not guarantee future results. All right. I think you know that. So, all right, let's take a look here. Talk a little bit about ourselves. My name is Hugh. All right, I'm the host here this evening, as I seem to be every Sunday night. That's okay. I love it. I love talking to you guys. It's kind of like my social life. That's sad, isn't it? Isn't that sad? Learn most about what I know about trading from the trenches. That's what I teach you. This is the hardcore stuff. Okay, this is not the theoretical stuff you're going to get out of a book. All right, you don't get much out of a book. I find books on options trading to be actually quite boring. Great for insomnia. You know, no medication, puts you to sleep right away. don't know if you find the same, but for me anyway, that's kind of what it was. I'm sure there's some good books out there. I just haven't really found them. But anyway, been trading people internationally since 2010. That means we are in our what 16th year right now. Started this back in May. So now I've been trading long before that, of course, but I actually started just teaching this since 2010. So I'm looking for short-term breakout trades, looking for small multiple gains a day. Kind of adds up very nicely. You know, if you get a daily profit target, let's say, I don't know, even say $500 or something like that, starting with say $5,000, just go in and out, make a couple $100 here, $100 there, $50 there, another 250 there. Before you know it, you're walking away with three, four, five, six, $800. Not bad. All right. Think of it this way, folks. If you only make $500 a day, that's $2,500 a week. And if you trade 50 weeks, that's $125,000. Not bad for working about an hour a day. All right. And I know a lot of people doing that and much more, much, much more. In fact, in our trading room, we've got people that are just racking up the profits like no tomorrow. So, speaking of the trading room, my partner in crime, his name is John Johnson. Excuse me. He's a former Eagle Financial Publications guru. And he had a newsletter going for a long, long time. And then he retired, and they brought him back. He said, "Oh, you know what? How about having John as your co-host?" I said, "Bring him on. Love to have him." He's actually a litigation lawyer, Texas, worked in the oil and gas industry. Great guy, and he's a day trader as well. And SPY, he day trades SPY options. He's been acclaimed in many industry publications. His philosophy is very simple: take what the market will give you. Great guy, funny guy. He's actually on vacation right now. He'll be back January the 3rd, but he's down, I believe, in Colorado, shushing the slopes skiing. He sent me pictures, and he's having a great time. He's having a great time. Actually, I'm jealous. I want to go down there too. Anyway, he's enjoying it. We're really glad to have him, and I'm sure he's going to come back with some stories and videos and pictures and stuff. So. Folks, we've been doing this together for quite some time now, and we're doing a great job of it. So, just a reminder, the Spy in the Market, this is our weekly newsletter. If you have not yet subscribed, please do. All right, this week's topic is going to be Hughes models. I've got a bunch of models that I use, all right? I just kind of discovered them, and there's some pretty good ones. The newsletter comes out every Thursday. It's light, relevant, even entertaining. Takes you only a couple minutes to read it. Just so go to our website, DayTradeSPY.com, and subscribe. All right, now if you don't want to subscribe, you can still go to our website, DayTradeSPY.com, and up at the top left, that's where you will see the newsletter link. Let me just see if I can pull it up here. Maybe I can show you, and you can read all the newsletters there that we have. It is right here. Okay, there it is right there. Up at the top left where it says Spy in the Market newsletters. Excuse me, click on that and you'll get all the newsletters. And sometimes it might be a day or two later, but they're all listed up in here. In fact, you can go back to, oh my gosh, you can go back to day one here. They've got them all listed in here, okay? And there's some great newsletters here. Trading is a mental game. Secrets to successful options trading. This is a really good one. One step at a time. This is funny. Almost got fooled on life insurance. That was pretty funny. There's some really good ones in here. Are you addicted to trading? I can tell you, I'm addicted, and I have no apologies for it. I am addicted to trading options. Excuse me. And this is one of those things that I know it could be dangerous to your wealth. Some people say, "Oh, you're addicted to booze. That's dangerous to your health." Well, options trading can be dangerous to your wealth if you do not know what you're doing. All right. So anyway, let's move on, folks. Okay, let's take a look and see what happened on SPY this last week. This is the chart of the option. Let's just pull it up here. This is what happened last week. Don't want to spend a lot of time on this because, frankly, it's not where we've been. This is important as where we are going. However, on Monday, we had 7 wins, 1 loss, 1 hold. The markets closed higher to kick off the holiday shortened week, buoyed partly by the tech sector, all right? It saw gains in the almost 11 S&P 500 sectors. Excuse me. Been talking all day here, so my voice is a little raspy here. On Tuesday, SPY rallied for the fourth straight day after an early morning sell-off and closed at a record high again as GDP figures came in better than expected. Wednesday, well, we had SPY that claimed its first Christmas Eve record since 2013, closed 0.3% higher on technical trading. There was no real news, but we closed higher. We got 8 wins on that one. By the way, on Tuesday, we had 9 wins. No losses. Sorry. On Thursday, December the 25th, markets were closed, and so were we. By the way, on Tuesday, the markets actually closed early at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Came back on Friday for some light trading, lighter trading. The S&P 500 actually slipped slightly, down by 0.03%, as traders took profits on a day with no catalyst to invoke any conviction one way or another. After reaching another record high, it ran right up to 691.66. SPY closed down a little bit. 690.25. It's kind of hanging around there since then. On Friday, we had 5 wins and one hold. One hold. Pretty good week all around. I am holding options into next week, and it is the Santa rally. So these are call options, and I'm not really worried about them. I'm going to wait and see what happens. They do expire next Friday. They're this coming Friday, so we'll see what happens. Seasonal charts. Take a look at the seasonals. Let's take a look at this here. For those who don't know, that blue line is where SPY is right now, and the red line is a composite of the last 5 years closing price on the daily charts. All right. Looking back, well, SPY rose about 3 points last week. And looks like SPY rose here going into the end of the year. Unfortunately, I don't have any data going into the first part of the year yet, so cannot comment on that. Although the Santa rally generally, they talk about 75, 80% of the time since like 1923 that SPY went up. The last 5 days of the year and the first 2 days of 20 of the following year. So I do expect SPY to rise next few days. All right. So let's take a look at that. Okay. All right. Moving along. Moving along. What happened last week? Positive returns across global asset classes. This year, markets overcame trade policy uncertainty and a record long government shutdown. It's been a pretty good year. It's actually a pretty interesting year. AI, artificial intelligence, enthusiasm supports market and the economy. This has been the big thing here now for quite some time. AI. Uh, this year delivered strong gains with the S&P recording 39 new all-time highs. 39 new all-time highs. I want to get a hyphen of this. 39 new all-time highs. Okay, and we had volatility return to the market after 2 years of relative calm. Is there a period there? There we go. Let's get rid of the period. Okay. All right. U.S. pushed tariffs to their highest levels in about 100 years this year. And the subsequent de-escalation of trade tensions, steady economic activity, and ongoing AI enthusiasm drove markets to strong earnings growth and market gains, with the S&P posting its third consecutive year of returns over 15%. That's really pretty good. Anybody sitting in long-term investments, I'm sure you did okay with them. As long as your investments more or less follow the S&P 500, you should be up. Here's a look at a chart, path of the S&P 500 and trade policy uncertainty. The uncertainty index is that broken blue line that's just kind of bounced around the bottom there. So as that uncertainty from trade policy goes down, we haven't really heard much from the administration and Trump as far as tariffs and whatnot in the last little while. It's been bouncing around. We get a little jumps here and there, but as a rule, they iron it out and they come back down and again. But the S&P has been performing quite well. Yes, we have our bounces up and down, but we're pushing up into well, I'll tell you, we're looking here at we're talking about possibly breaking 7,000 by the end of the year. At least that was the talk on the street. Not sure it's going to happen. Today's the 28th. We have what do we have until Wednesday to break that, and we're pushing up pretty good in the S&P 500 into that zone in there. We'll see if we actually break that 7,000 this year. This was last week. This is kind of where this is pretty current up until last week here. So, tech investment is support of the U.S. economic activity mostly. All right, this data shows the data center investment. Excuse me, mostly AI has roughly tripled since late 2022 when ChatGPT was released. That was a major force. Right? When ChatGPT was released, all the other AI companies released theirs, and we saw immense growth here. Data centers, and you can just see that blue line, which is the data center investment in millions, shot straight up. A lot of money being poured into AI investments and chips and whatnot. It's just going straight off the charts here. Okay, up until that point, until ChatGPT, we're pushing maybe, maybe what's this, 150 million or whatever. But now, well, it's just gone off the charts. So that's where it's at, folks. AI is where it's at. So this is what happened on the markets last week. S&P rose about 1.4%, came to 17.8% year to date. Nasdaq ran up 1.2%. That came up to 22.2% year to date. And the Dow is up to 14.5% year to date. An excellent, excellent return all around as to what's kind of gone on in the markets here. All right. All right. That, of course, is last week now. Looking at next week here. Tomorrow, Monday, we have pending home sales. Tuesday, we get the FOMC meeting minutes. They're going to be released. Now, this is where they kind of look back and discuss what prompted them to lower interest rates or what they were thinking, this sort of thing. There's no real news with FOMC meeting minutes. It's just an evaluation of what they were thinking, and they sort of dissect it, unpack it, whatever, and look into what's going to happen, coming up in the next meeting. And by the way, the next FOMC meeting is going to be in January. I believe near the end of the year, end of the month. I'm going to just pull that up right now and take a look and see when that is going to be released. Okay, give me half a second here. FOMC meeting minutes. Okay, let's take a look here. Okay, beginning and end, apply settings. All right, let me see when that's going to be. As I quickly scroll through it, lots of news up until that point. We have some early monthly GDP numbers, sort of inflationary numbers. I'm not sure GDP, but unemployment numbers coming out. I believe it's near the end of the month when we are going to see we're going to see those numbers. Okay. Hang on a second, I will tell you. It looks like it is going to be end of the month here, right? Is it the end of the month? Yes, it is. January the 28th is when they got the next Fed Reserve meeting, when they're going to determine whether they should lower rates or keep them the same or raise them. I don't think they're going to raise them. On Tuesday, we also have Chicago PMI report, right? Unemployment claims coming in on Wednesday. Wednesday is going to be a full day of trading. Last week it was only half a day, but this week it's going to be a full day as we head into the new year. And of course, markets are going to be closed on New Year's, January the 1st, right? And on Friday we come back, S&P Global final manufacturing PMI report. Probably light trading day on Friday as well as it was last week. So I've got some volatility numbers here. It's going to be medium on Monday, tomorrow, high on Tuesday and Wednesday, low on Thursday and Friday. Don't forget, of course, whenever President Trump speaks, volatility can jump up. Okay, depending, of course, on what he says. And oftentimes we don't know when he's going to speak until, sort of scheduled that same day. So you got to kind of watch for that. But whenever he does have something to talk about, it comes on board, you can expect volatility to rise. Okay. All right, moving along. What are we going to talk about? What do you want to talk about next? Okay, here we go. Folks, we have many opportunities every day that present themselves, and that's what we do. We show you how to spot the opportunities and how to trade them. I had somebody the other day, we were talking, I don't know, I can't remember what we were talking about, but kind of subject came up about, the enemy. You mentioned that the enemy is the stock market or something. So, I said, hold on, back up again, back up. I don't think the stock market's the enemy at all. I'll tell you who the enemy is. The enemy is the person in the mirror. That's who the enemy is, right? The stock market's actually your best friend. You want proof? Take a look at any chart, any chart. Go back in any day, go back to a 1 or 5 minute chart any day, and you can see the many opportunities the excuse me, the SPY gave you. Many opportunities because you made some money on the market. And I can't think of any other thing to do that would give you that much opportunity to make some money legally, of course, as what SPY does. Okay. Markets go up, they go down. And trading the way we trade, you can make money on both going to the upside and to the downside. Now, for those who don't know, we only trade one stock, SPY, which is the stock that follows the S&P 500. So you don't have to know everything about everything. You don't have to worry about doing market analysis. Let me tell you something. Long before I started trading and showing people this sort of thing, I was part of other groups, and I remember getting together every Sunday night. We would look at our various sectors that we were assigned. Of course, we were together every day, Monday to Friday, from I want to say 9 to 4 o'clock. Then I think a couple of times during the week we'd be getting together at night again and discussing, where the markets are probably going to go. So we were all assigned our various sectors, and we had to report in. Well, I don't think, whatever the financial sector is going to be doing anything. I don't even think we knew what we were looking at. A lot of us would just kind of go along with whatever and pass. We say pass. Let's see who's got the next sector that we could talk about. Of course, there are always people that will talk about whatever, and but I thought it was very difficult to determine where the markets are going to go. How do you know? I don't know what the news is. Even if there is some news about the financial sector, let's say if that was my sector, I had no idea. So, okay, there might be some financial news that's going to come out and, Wednesday or Thursday. Well, I don't know how that's going to affect the market. It depends on the news. It depends on how the pundits, interpret the news, how they report the news, and how the market reports, interprets the pundits' interpretation of the news. There's so many variables when you do that. Excuse me. Do you look at various banks or do you look at the sector? Do I look at who's the big mover in the sector? There's so many complications, so many factors to look at. And how did the other sectors, the other news around it, it was just very confusing. So it didn't really work out very well. Then, and we'd always plot along. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I have no clue what the market's going to be a year from now, 6 months, or even a week from now. How can I tell you where the market's going to go a week from now? Nobody knows that. Nobody. Nobody walking the face of this earth knows where the market's going to be a week from now. We can tell you with a fair degree of certainty where we think it's going to go based on the past, but there's no guarantees, right? There's no guarantees. So what do? We give us the best estimate that we can based on what we know. We look at various things, but I'll tell you something. John and I have a very good idea where the market's going to go today. So in the morning, when we do our various assessments and analyses and different things, we got it pretty figured out where the market's going to go today, and it's been working very, very well. All right. But when you look back, you'll see that wow, the market went up, came down. Now we don't do spreads, we don't do naked calls or naked puts, none of that. We simply look at calls and puts, flat out, just basic calls and puts. We buy them and then we sell them. All right, so if we anticipate the market's going to go up, we buy calls. All right. Um, and we're not looking for a huge move. So this is the nice thing about this, what we do. You don't need a large, large move to make any serious money on the market because we trade options. Options are derivatives of the underlying stock. We don't care about buying or trading the stock itself. Um, First of all, it's very expensive. You're talking about, let's say if the stock is $680, which is what it is kind of like around now. So for each share, you're paying $680. So if you want to move, say, 100 shares, you're talking about $68,000 to invest. Now, if you've got a margin account, so you'd only put in, say, 34,000, and the bank that your broker lends you the other 34,000. So you get all excited. Oh, good, I got borrowed money. Well, guess what? You are obligated to pay that money back with interest. It's not your money. They lent you the money. Let me tell you, you can lose a lot of money in the stock market. And let's say something happened and the stock went up $100, right? $100. You just paid 68,000. Well, guess what? You just made 0.147%. I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm coughing here. I get so excited about that. So let me get this straight. I just invested $68,000. The stock goes up a little bit, it goes up somewhat, and and I make $100. I'm supposed to get excited about that because I made 0.1475%. I'm sorry, we don't get out of bed for that. We don't even get out of bed for, 2 or 3 or 4%. 5 or 6%, I'll get out of bed. Okay. See, options, those are derivatives. So one option controls 100 underlying shares. And get this, an option might cost you $300 or $400. So basically for, say, $400, you are controlling 100 underlying shares. So let's say the stock goes up enough to give you $100. Um, well, that delta on that might be zero point 0.5. Let's say, if the same, if the stock goes up $1, you made $100 on the stock, right? That means you'd have made zero point 0.5 or maybe 50 cents on the option. Well, if the stock goes up a dollar, your option goes up 50 cents, you paid $400 for it, you just made 12.5% on the option. What would you rather have? 0.0017 or 12.5%? You see what I'm saying? It's not that complicated. And here's what we do. We teach you. So we demystify the options. See, most traders lose in the options market. I don't know what the number is. I don't think anybody knows the number. I've heard all kinds of numbers from anywhere from 93 to 98%. Let's see, even 95% of the people lose their money on the options market in the first year. There is this thing called the 90-90-90 rule, which I actually wrote about in my newsletter a couple of weeks ago. Excuse me, it means something like 90% of options traders lose 90% of their money in the first 90 days. Well, why is that? Many reasons there are for that, many reasons. I won't even go into them, but chances are, if you're starting out, or even if you're not, you can fall into that trap pretty easily. It's very easy to lose your money on the options market, and our objective is to teach you how not to do that. Because when you understand the options market, you can avoid losing your money, right? That's the key. See, most people don't understand how options work. They just see it as some sort of a game or something, and they think, oh, I'm just going to throw some money at this and see what happens. Well, the only thing is, options have certain key factors that affect their value, and it changes all the time. There are a lot of factors that affect it. Time is one of them. An option is actually a contract with an options holder that enables you to trade the underlying stock for a certain price by a certain date. But it's kind of like buying an ice cube. You buy an ice cube and it melts on you. The way we trade, we are not here to hold on to these options for very long. My intent is to buy them and hopefully in a few minutes get rid of them. That's the intent. If I can do that, then I just made money and I won on the options market. If you hold on to them too long, you're going to lose theta value, time value, right? That's one aspect. There's volatility, right? When volatility goes up, you'll find that values change. There's this thing called the gamma, which is the difference in the change in the delta. I mean, there's a lot of different things, but we show you all that stuff. It's not that complicated. Then when you understand all of that and the mechanics, takes the mystery out of it. You're going to be part of the top 5% of the people that understand options. So if somebody's going to lose money, they might as well lose it to you. That's the way I look at it, right? Anyway, we show you how to spot these opportunities and how to trade them. That's what we do. That's our job. Sorry. Boy. Let me get a drink of drink here first, and I'm going to clear my throat. That's better. All right, I'm going to talk about the 2026 challenge. All right, I talked about it in the last few weeks about taking 5,000, turning it into $50,000. We're changing that a little bit, folks. We're changing that. We're going to make it easier, even easier for you. Because that was the challenge we did here in 2025. What we did was we took $5,000 and the objective was to turn that into $50,000 by the end of this year. Well, as it turned out, we actually hit our target in I guess it was mid-September. Something like 8.5 months we did it. Now, it didn't come without its challenges, and We had some very bad days as well, and we're gonna do things differently now. We're gonna do this differently so that more people can kind of jump into this at any time, and it's not going to be that cumulative effect that we had this last time, where it was really kind of getting crazy, especially near the end when we're investing 50, 60, $70,000 or whatever it was. That's a lot of money. And if you're not used to investing that kind of money into an option trade, it could be pretty disconcerting. So what we're going to do here in 2026, we're going to start with capital of $10,000 every day. $10,000 at the most. All right, that's our starting capital, $10,000. So it's going to be based on sort of a cash account, so that you don't have to have a margin account. Okay, and we're only going to be looking at buying 5 contracts. It says each day, but I'm going to change that. Now it does say each day, but I'm going to change that to each trade. There may be days when we trade, two, maybe even 3 times a day, but each trade is going to consist of 5 contracts. Okay, and what you're gonna do is follow along to the end of the year, 2026, and see where we end up. So let's say we make, let's say we make on 5 contracts $100. Let's say those contracts cost us $3.50, right? Well, that gives us another what do we have? We have another $6.50 or $6,500 with which to trade that same day. So we might make another trade for another $3, right? Another $3, and we might have a third trade in there for another 350. Anyway, you're going to understand it when I get into the trading room. But we're only going to trade up to maximum $10,000 each day. But that doesn't mean we are going to trade the whole $10,000. If I see an opportunity, then I might take it. But if not, well, our goal is to just buy. Our goal is going to be on average probably 1 trade a day, maybe a little bit more. But we'd like to get a trade every day. Now, if there's a day and we just don't see a setup for a good trade on 5 contracts, we're not going to place it. We're not going to place the trade. Okay. We're going to just place this along very nicely. Anybody who wants to follow along on this particular project, please join us in the trading room. We're going to see where we end up at the end of the year. Now, I fully expect to hit $50,000 or more. I fully expect to hit $50,000 or more by the end of the year. All right, I've done that, in the past. I've done it this year, and we're going to see if we can do it again. Right? Again, we may possibly make multiple trades per day, trading up to a total of $10,000. So you don't need to have, excuse me, you don't need to have a margin account. It's probably best to work this with a cash account. Now, just bear in mind that you cannot trade the profits the same day. You have to wait until your trade settles, which is the next day. And we're going to consider a commission of $1 a contract. Okay, $1 contract. That's what the commission is on Tasty Trade, up to a maximum of $10. All right, so our commission is going to be $5, and we'll see where it goes. Now, we are going to be doing this live in the trading room. Live in the trading room. So you have to join the trading room. It's not like, we're going to be sending out emails. Oh, we're going to get into this now, and then you're going to just follow along on an email format. No, we're going to be doing this in the trading room. Okay. So what you want to do, you want to join the trading room, folks. You want to join the trading room. All right. So let's get to some questions here before I get into further as to how to what we're going to do here. And it's pretty exciting, actually. I'm looking forward to it. Of course, we're going to follow along on the spreadsheet with this as well. So you're going to be able to track this on a day-to-day basis. All right, it's going to be very easy. So, all right, how much do you think the FOMC minutes is going to affect the market on Tuesday? Excuse me. I think it'll be some effect. It's going to be Tuesday afternoon. So I'm not thinking that I don't think it's going to be a great effect on the market, but I think there may be some effect trickling down. I think on Tuesday we also have something else like what is the Chicago PMI or something? Let me go back and check. On Tuesday we have Chicago PMI as well. The Chicago PMI will probably have more of an effect than the FOMC meeting minutes. Okay on that, Mark? Okay. All right. All right. For the challenge that starts next Monday, will all of our trades be made each day by 10:30? Good question, Vanessa. Our goal is to make them by 10:30. Actually, my goal will probably be to get in there and make them by 9:35, like to and actually enter the trade. All right, so probably what we're going to be doing is looking at the market. Is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? Where's our support resistance lines? Where's our chart patterns? What's the fundamentals? Whatever. We're going to make our determination and then enter a trade. All right. John and I are going to be discussing it beforehand, and we're going to be discussing it as the market opens and looking at everything. All right. We're going to look at everything and news that comes out, news that has come out, everything else, and then we're going to make our determination. But yes, it should be done by 10:30 in the morning. All right. If we don't close the position by 10:30, obviously we're going to let you know. Right. All right. We're going to be using Tasty Trade or Thinkorswim. I'm going to be doing it on Thinkorswim because that's what I show you, the sim account on Thinkorswim. But I'm also going to be doing it on Tasty Trade, where the commissions are lower. Commissions should not really affect it. I'm not sure what the commission is on Thinkorswim. What is it, like $1.25? Maybe somebody knows that. $1.25 or something a contract, something like that. It shouldn't be that bad. It shouldn't make that much of a difference. So, all right. So Mickey's asking if the market goes against the trade, when am I going to get out? At one time, you said 40%. Um, we're going to be monitoring that, and we're going to make that determination, I think, with each trade. I'm not sure I want to put in a blanket rule on that. Okay. I think the objective is to get out by the end of the day somehow. And I think for reporting purposes with the Eagle people, I'm going to have to uh, have a concession of that nature where by the end of the day, we're going to be out of the trade. But the trades are going to have plenty of time. So even if the trade does go against us, we should not lose that much money on any particular trade. And just because it goes against us doesn't mean we're going to get out of it either. Because very often what happens is there's some news release or something happens, somebody says something, the market turns on us, right? The market is very finicky, very sensitive, and it can turn against you. However, I know that the stock market has a very good memory for support and resistance, but a very short memory for news. So very often what happens, the news comes, it hits us, the market goes down, finds some level of support, bounces back up, and it's like the news never happened. So very often, if you just wait a few minutes, you'll see the market come back up in your direction, in your favor. So we're going to wait and see. Before we bail out of anything, we're going to take each one on its own merit. Okay. All right, another question here. Are you able to do 3 trades a day without being considered a day trader with day trade requirements? Okay, good question here. So if you are trading, say you have $10,000 in your trading account, and you are let's see, cash, you got a cash account. You can trade as much as you want as long as you have the cash to cover it. And that's sort of the objective with that. So we're suggesting that put 10,000 in your account. We're not doing margin. There's going to be no margin trading. And if you have the 10,000 in your account, you should be able to trade up to $10,000, right? And if you trade 3 or 4 trades, 5 trades, whatever it is, one trade, you should be fine if you have the cash to cover it. Okay, that's kind of the rule there. So, all right. So another question here. I see you make an average of 4 to 6 trades per day. Are all of them made between 9:30 and 10:30 in the morning? Okay, so for this particular project, we will be announcing this is our challenge trade. This is a challenge trade. We will be making other trades during the session as well. Excuse me. So, John and I, we both trade. All right. We'll trade the bread and butter trade. We'll trade the ONG trade, which is short for out of the morning gate. We'll also do scalps. Okay. So, I might be trading myself in there as well, and it might not be considered the challenge trade, but we'll definitely make sure that you understand this is coming up. We're going to be doing a challenge trade. Here's what we're looking to trade. We're looking at getting into the whatever. I'm going to buy the 5 contracts. All right, we're going to take it from there and see what it is. So you'll be very much aware that this is now a challenge trade. At least that's the objective. So hopefully. All right, and let's see other questions you got. Okay. Okay. just read some of these people. These people that write me essays, I love it, you know. I don't know if I can, I don't know if I have the time to answer it. Hey, he was in the trading room last Friday and wondering what time Friday, the Friday recording will be available. Still not on the website. I'm trying to double check why my ONG and Signal did not sell by end of day Friday. Oh, it didn't sell. If they were calls, you may want to just sit on them. That's fine. Don't panic. We're into the Santa rally now here, Alex. So I think if anything, I'd rather be in calls. In fact, I'm still in calls too. So and I'm not worried about it. So should we holding on to those calls? Should we still hold on to our calls for 690, 691 for tomorrow to hit the original price, or sell it right away in the morning when the market opens? So if I was you, Alex, I would hold on because I believe tomorrow. Well, let's put it this way: if 80% of the time since 1953, or sorry, 1923, the markets went up in the last few days of the year and the first 2 days of the new year, I would probably not not sweat too much as the market's gonna go up. That said, markets don't go in straight lines. Okay, they zigzag. It might come down a little bit before it finds support, goes back up. But I've been hearing a lot of talk, AI, they want to push the market over 7,000, and who knows? But I think if I'm going to be in a trade, I would rather be in calls than puts. I'd rather be in nothing. But if you're stuck in a trade, calls is probably the way to go. So, and as far as posting the numbers, it's probably because maybe the Eagle people that are controlling that and uploading it, maybe they weren't really working on Friday, or for whatever reason they didn't get to it. Stick, don't sweat. It'll be up probably Monday. For Fridays, it's probably going to be up tomorrow. So, I'm pretty confident it will be. Should be anyway. So. Will trades be posted in the chat? Okay, Phil. So the trades are not going to be posted in the chat. All right, you got to pay attention. We so we started putting support and resistance numbers in the chat, but we're finding that it's very distracting. So we use Thinkorswim sim accounts, and when we post our support and resistance numbers, for example, with the OMG line, the numbers are posted on the chart. Okay, so you'll get the numbers on the chart. We'll be, obviously talking about it, and we'll be repeating ourselves. Just pay attention, because when we're posting these things, we're actually very distracted. And that's one of the things I'm finding too with my own trading, that I missed many, many opportunities this last year because I was so busy narrating the events. Um, Sorry. John and I are talking about how can we do this so we don't miss our own trades. I mean, it's a problem. It's a problem for us, not for you, but for us, because while we are narrating and not focusing on our own trades, we are leaving a lot of money on the table, and sometimes we don't like that. Okay. However, that's what we do for you. So that's why we are now, we've mixed up the hosting a little bit. As an example, I host Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays, and John hosts Tuesdays and Wednesdays. That enables the person who is not hosting to maybe just get a little bit of an edge where they can actually place their own trades without having to, do a lot of talking, even though we both do. So that's kind of the objective there. But we're not going to be really getting into the chat box too much. You can still post all your questions in the questions box. When we get a lull in the action, we go up back and we answer the questions in the questions box. All right. Will the challenge trade also be the pick of the day? No, the pick of the day is actually a separate trade altogether, separate subscription, as is the day trade spy signal, which I'll tell you about in a little bit here. Okay, question here. In order for us to get the same outcome by the end of the year, will you tell us when to get out of the challenge trade? The objective there is to get in and out during the trading room. If for whatever reason we are holding on to it after the trading room, we will tell you exactly how and when. Well, I can't tell you when, but how we're going to get out. In other words, if I see the market going up, but we still have we got to wrap up the trading room in about 3 minutes. I might say, well, I'm going to hold on until it hits this level, then I'm going to get out of it. Okay. Or if it comes back and reverses, I'll say, okay, if I'm not out of it by the end of the day, I'll bail out of it at the market price at the end of the day, and then we will post that on the spreadsheet, presented to you the next day. I think many people are going to do much better than we are. Okay, because some people actually really, really have a real good grasp on this. And instead of listening to us ramble on, they just simply trade and they do much, much better. So Susanna, I expect you to do very well in this. All right. I really, really do. So, but if it is a losing trade, we will explain to you when and how we're going to get out of it. And we also think in here that John and I are talking about, well, maybe if it goes down a quarter, we should bail out at a quarter. And that's something on the table as well. But we're going to take each trade individually and discuss it and get into it. So, all right, no problem. Let's go on. All right, let's go on, folks. It's already pushing a quarter to 9 in the morning. So here's our 2-minute tutorial. This is a very simple one here. I told you last week what to get for holiday gifts, Christmas gifts. Now I'm going to tell you what my top 10 New Year's resolutions are. Again, this is recorded. If you missed them, you might want to go back and view the recording. If you want to write them down, make them your own as well. I welcome you to it. I might even actually put this in the newsletter or something, send it out. If you guys want me to do that, let me know, and maybe I can make it available to you somewhere down the road, right? I can do that for you. So, number one, be cognizant of your emotions, all right? And I'm talking here about your fear, greed, ego, FOMO, right? Fear of missing out, YOLO, you only live once. When you have those feelings and you're getting into the trade because you feel that everybody's at the party except you and you should be there trading because everybody's trading, that might not be the right reason to be into a trade, right? You want to make sure you get in when the indicators tell you and when you have room to grow and everything is set up nicely. That's when you get into the trade, not because everybody else seemingly is in a trade. A lot of market makers out there playing the trades and they have an incredible way of separating you from your money. Don't fall into the trap, but be aware of those emotions. Some people have, some of us have ego issues. We feel like, well, I'm going to do well, and I'm the trader in this group, and I'm going to be. So you want to make sure you get in there. You only live once. This is another good one too. I've heard this where people say, well, you know what? I only have $6,000 left in my account. I'm just going to throw it all in there, see what happens. Wow, really? Let's put it in perspective. Maybe that $6,000 might have, bought your mortgage for a few months or, paid for half your kid's education one day. Like you got to kind of keep things in perspective. So, anyway, be cognizant of your emotions. Don't just impulsively act on them. These are New Year's resolutions, and I hope to keep them. And I hope if you take these resolutions in stride too, that you're going to keep them. Number two, ensure proper setups before embarking on a trade. It's so easy, and this is one of my issues too. I attempt to jump the gun a lot. I guess I've been doing it so long, I just kind of see, I can almost see where the market's going to go. But it doesn't always happen that way. Sometimes I jump the gun, sometimes I regret that. But I'm going to sit back this time. I'm going to say, you know what? It's not time yet. It's just not time. I'm going to wait until that setup happens, and then I'm going to jump in, and then I'm going to get that small gain that I'm looking for. Get in, get out, made my profit. I'm done, made my goal, done, 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 done. Right. So I'm going to try and really just be a little more careful on that. Number three, I'm going to exercise patience and discipline, not to jump in too early or get out too late. Sometimes, and this happened the other day, I said, well, I'm going to get out of it when it hits this resistance level up at a pivot point. I identified where it was. But I got out of it too early. I said, I got a nice profit. I'll get out of it. Meanwhile, had I just done what I said I was going to do, I would have had another 10, 15 cents in the trade. I was very confident that it was going to hit that resistance level, and I explained why, and it worked. But I jumped out too early, and I just left. Well, let's put it this way. If it was only 10 contracts, I probably left about $150 on the table. All I had to do was wait a few minutes. So I want to make sure I exercise more patience and discipline. And sometimes that's a little hard to do for me. Anyway, you may not have that problem. Number four, check upcoming news for any conflicts of interest within my technicals. In other words, you want to make sure, and I do this pretty good anyway, but excuse me, you want to make sure there's no conflicting news that is going to come out that might just, move the technicals because news moves the markets, right? News moves the markets. So if you get into a situation where the news is going to be negative and you're waiting for a positive report, and based on your technicals, you're going to the upside. Meanwhile, this news comes out, it's a negative news item. May not know how far down it's going to go. It might push it down under a key support level, and then the market continues to go down, right? You don't want that to happen. So check the news. Make sure that you are very much aware of the news that is scheduled. Of course, there's scheduled news and then there's unscheduled news. Can't do much on the surprise news items, but the news that you know is coming, you can certainly handle that. Number five, stay healthy, physically, emotionally, spiritually. Stay balanced. Okay. You may not, you should probably not trade all day long, right? Because then you're too much into it. Trade, right? Get your focus in the morning, do your trades, make sure you're healthy, have your morning routine down and whatever you take, if it's the coffee you need or whatever, make sure you're awake. Don't trade if you're not feeling well. If you had a fight with somebody, the dog kept you awake all night or whatever. Not all days are going to be necessarily good trading days. And other days you're going to be really hot. You're going to be right at one with the market. You will feel like you just can't lose, right? But stay very healthy. Make sure that you do that, okay? Do your exercises, get on that Peloton bike or something, do your 20 minutes or half hour, whatever. Number six, number six, stay true to your proven strategies. Don't veer into uncharted territory. It's so easy, isn't it? Well, I heard about this stock, or I heard about this other strategy, or, you know, I told you the story before many times. I'm sure many of you heard Amber, the girl I had a long time ago. She was doing very well with her strategy, but then she discovered selling puts, naked puts on FFIV. It was a tech stock, and she was so adamant that, oh, she can do very well with this. She's making money, and I warned her about this, and I said, it's a tech stock. It's going to go down. Not, and stocks don't always go up, folks. It doesn't matter what they are. They don't always go up. And you know what? AI stocks are going to go down too. Anyway, she didn't listen to me. I said, I forbid you to do that. Amber, do not do that. Just follow, do what you're good at. You're very good at trading options on SPY. Oh, no, no, no. But I'm making money here. Anyway, we had a big fight about that. And later on, she called me all in tears. Well, I got the margin call, like you said. I said, oh, yeah, what do they want? I don't know. I can't remember. 40 some thousand dollars they wanted. I said, well, if you don't have it, Amber, they liquidate your account. You're done. Okay, you're done. And she was done. And it was really sad because she was actually turning into a very good trader. In fact, she was a pretty good trader, but she had to find something else. What can you do? Anyway, when you find something that works, stay with it. Stay with it. Now, that it also applies that if you find, say, another strategy, it's not in our wheelhouse, then go with that. That works. Whatever works for you, right? Some people are pretty good with swing trades. They like swing trades. Some people like, other trades, whatever. So anyway, that's the way we trade. That's the way to do it. Celebrate the winners, but review and learn from your losers. You don't really learn a lot from your winners, right? You don't want to cheer and celebrate and high fives and all that. But it's actually the losers that you're going to learn the most from. You're going to go back and see, you're going to keep a log, right? You're going to go back and see, well, what did I do wrong? Did I do something wrong? Was it just a stroke of bad luck? Did I get in too early? Did I get out too late? Did I jump the gun? What did I do? What could I have done better to make, to have a better trade on this? Concentrate first on having good trades. The money will come after. Don't overtrade. When you hit your target, folks, quit. Have your daily target. Let's say your target I mentioned earlier, $500. Well, when you hit that, just quit. You hit your target. You know, in the morning when you started out, you'd have been very happy hitting your $500. Then when you hit it, you're not happy. Now you got to keep trading. Very often what I find is that it's that last trade that the thing turns on you, and now you're sitting there overnight. You're holding this thing overnight. You're wondering, oh man, why didn't I just quit while I was ahead? Right? Does that ever happen to you? When you hit your daily target, quit. Just quit. Go do something else. Go find something else to do. You've heard this a million times. Well, you're going to hear it again. Plan your trade and trade your plan. All right. If you don't do that, um, all right, all your trades should be somewhat planned. You don't have to write it down on paper, but just know, okay, I'm going to get in when this happens, and I'm going to get out when that happens or this happens. Very simple. Once you get into the habit of that, it comes very easily. It's like driving a car, okay? And number 10, keep trading and training as much fun as possible and help others, all right? Keep a log. When it stops being fun or you've lost too much money, every now and then I get an email from somebody say, "Oh my gosh, I just lost so much money and oh, I don't know if I want to do this anymore." And oh, you know what? If you didn't get into the system of making a little bit of money first, ramp it up nicely, then you're going to be okay. I just look at the time here. I got to run here, folks. I want to move it forward here. Folks, we have solid gold, learn and earn actionable plans. All right, these are available exclusively through Day Trade Spy. You're not going to get these anywhere else. Now, our inner circle. A lot of people don't want to know what is this. This is where you're going to get the morning market analysis, a follow-up report, and you're going to be invited to our Wednesday night interactive meetups. If you miss them, they're recorded, not a problem. $299 a year. I mean, that's, oh my gosh, seriously, that's like a cup of coffee and a donut a week. Well, maybe a Starbucks cup of coffee. I don't know. 575 a week. Are you kidding me? All right, everybody, all right, even if you never trade, you should still get in on this because let us do the heavy lifting with this. We are going to tell you what the market's going to do today. And then go back and check it if you want. If you don't want to use it, that's okay too. Here, okay, so I put the QR codes up. So now, if you miss them on these in these slides, I will have them up at the end of this presentation as well, okay? Don't worry if you miss them, they'll be up at the last slide of the presentation as well. All right, $299 a year for the inner circle. Next up, excuse me, is the Day Trade Spy Signal. You're going to get 3 to 5 signals a week, algorithm based, sent to your email, cell phone. It's going to be a text in the mornings. The idea here is to buy it right away, put it up for sale for a 5% profit target. If not sold by 4 p.m., sell it at the market close. Now, a lot of people know what we do, and if you still haven't sold it by the market close, you might want to sell it the next day type of thing. If you want to hold on to it overnight, I know a lot of people do that, and they do very, very well with that. And these trades are, they do have a long enough expiration that you should not lose a lot of theta loss on that. So if you do want to hold them overnight, you actually can. Price for this, $3.99 a quarter, or take the whole year at $14.95. Again, there's the QR code for that. And don't worry if you missed the QR code. I want to kind of get through this. I'm going to have the QR codes up for a good couple of minutes at the end of the session. Pick of the day is similar to the DayTradeSPY signal, but you're going to get the pick email to you at 9 o'clock, and this is meant to be purchased at the market open. Now, it's not algorithm based, but John and I sit down pre-market and hammer out where we think the market is going to go on this at some point during the day. Now, it could actually hit in the afternoon. Usually they hit within a few minutes in the morning, but we are looking to buy at market open, looking for a 6% gain. And again, these may be held overnight. There's certainly ample time in these as well. All right. This program is the same as the Day Trade Spy Signal, only $3.99 a quarter or $14.95 a year. Now, a lot of people have both. All right, so you might be, you might be in a situation where you're at your computer at 9:30 in the morning. You can get into the pick of the day, or sometimes you might find yourself, say, out on the road. Maybe you're driving the kids to school or something, or where you got errands to run or whatever. If that's the case, take the signal because you could be out on the road at 10 o'clock when you get the signal, and pull over, right? Pull over right away and pull up your trading platform on your cell phone app and place the trade, right? And this is how this works. And then immediately put up for sale for your profit target. Of course, we have the trading room. This is hosted by yours truly, along with John Johnson. And these are interactive sessions. Learn and earn, fully narrated. This is where strategies come alive, folks. We talk about our strategies, including our challenge. This is where it's going to be every morning, 9:20 Eastern Time to 10:30. And this year, you get this for $6.99 a quarter or $24.95 for the whole year. Best value right here, folks. And you are going to learn everything we do. So you can post your questions. We'll answer them for you. Post your results. We get very excited when people have some really good results. It's actually a lot of fun too. Okay, we have a lot of fun. We have contests. We do different things. All right, let me see what else I show you here. Oh, yeah, I know what I want to tell you here. I forgot to tell you this last week, but all of these programs, they come with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Not a problem. Hey, listen, if if you don't like it, and we're not suggesting everything is for you, but if you don't like it, you can always, right, just call up Eagle and you'll have the number right there and just give them a call. Say, "Yeah, you know what, this isn't really for me, and I don't understand. I don't like it. I don't want it. Can I have my money back?" So you get your money back. I mean, how cool is that? You get your money back and you'll learn something. You will have learned something very valuable that you can actually take into your into your trading. I mean, I can't think of a better foolproof, secured, risk-free way of doing this. So I think this is a really, really cool thing. Um, all right, let's get into some more questions here real quick before we wrap it up. I know it is 9 o'clock, but here we go. Question here. Please put these in your weekly newsletter. You know what? Yeah, maybe I should. Maybe, you know what? Oh my gosh. I had the newsletter already set. Um, okay. I'm just thinking maybe what I'll do is I will make the newsletter for the New Year's resolutions, right? Would you like that, guys? Would you like that in my, are you going to subscribe to the newsletter? Tell me if you're going to subscribe to the newsletter. And if so, I will put my New Year's resolutions in the newsletter. Okay. If you want that, let me know and I will do that. Okay. Otherwise, I'm just going to issue the newsletter that I had from before. All right. So enough people want that. I will do that for you. Okay. So just let me know in the questions box if you want that. All right. Where do you get the news? Oh my gosh, Mike, we get the news from various sources. Oh, where do we start? Various news feeds, Twitter feeds. Oh, sorry, X. John gets his news from different sources. I get mine. We consolidate everything. We get them from the major networks as well. Um, Fox, CNN, yes, Bloomberg, Market Watch, Wall Street Journal, big one there. Wall Street Journal's a big one. We get them all from Forex Factory. There's a whole bunch of them. So this is what we do. And this is one of the beauties about what we do. We consolidate all of this information, package it all very nicely, and send it out to you. And that is the beauty of what we do. We bring in so you don't have to subscribe to a million different things and try and understand, well, what's important, what's not important. Um, is it important that we're bombing oil tankers in Venezuela? That may have an effect on oil at some point. Uh, Oil prices may go up because of that. If we're, there's these are a lot of things that we are putting together every morning, and we put it in relation to each other. What is the important news? What is the news that is going to affect the markets today? Okay. Who said what? When the Fed presidents speak, how does that affect the market? Well, how are they in relation to each other? And anyway, we throw the whole thing all into a big mixture, and then we come up with some conclusions, and that's what we send to you. So we send you a condensed package of where we see the market going. I mean, I think that's a phenomenal thing to do. So that's really where we get the news. I know I'm not really being very specific with you, but again, we get it from a lot of different news feeds, and this is what we do. We consolidate it all. So. Number five has been the hardest this past month, even with 1 hour of trading real money a day. Must be talking here about um, the New Year's resolution here. So, uh, Robert's Robert's asking, "Where's my cat? I haven't mentioned her tonight." Okay, so we're cat sitting. We're cat sitting this cat. And no, if I kept the door open, she'd be here walking back and forth on my desk, and she'd be trying to grab the cursor. So I purposely kept her out and say, don't, I don't want you disturbing me tonight. You can, play later. So anyway, so what is our daily target with the challenge trade? Okay, that's a good question. Uh, there's no daily target set yet. We'll probably be discussing that when we set it up in the new year with the chart. We'll probably be, I'm thinking of a couple of $100 a day. Susanna, if we do $200 a day, that's $1,000 a week, and that's probably where I'm kind of leaning to, $1,000 a week. And let's say 50 trading days a year. There's 52, but say 50. Well, that's $50,000 a year, right? You should make $50,000 a year trading $200 a week. And that should be fairly easy to do. Okay. And by the way, that's going to be such that you can jump in at any time and just pick it up from there. So it's not going to be, compounding or anything. We're not going to compound here, and which is what we did the last time. So, All right, another question here. Let's see. Okay, yes, the pick of the day and the signal are both the same price. That is correct. They're both the same price. It was at 3.99 a quarter, or whatever it was per year. And again, you can go to those web pages. So those links I'm going to send you the QR code. It's going to take you to a page. Just scroll to the bottom. Scroll to the bottom. That's where you actually make the payment. All right, pick your plan, whether it's a quarterly or yearly. Just tick off the little box, enter your credit card number. You should be in. Okay, you should be in. So now I believe that may go through another level before they actually put your name on the list, but I don't think you should be more than a day, lose more than a day with that. So, okay, if we sign up for the trading room, are the picks of the day included? No, they are separate subscriptions. A lot of people have both subscriptions. They are separate because a lot of times people can't get to the trading room, but they want to pick, and other, vice versa. So, okay, lots of yeses. Put the resolution in the newsletter. Does the signal give trade ideas recommendation? The signal gives you the particular trade. Signal gives you the particular trade that we are looking at getting into right away. So you get the signal, and it'll tell you the option to buy it right now. So just flip over to your trading platform, make the purchase, buy it immediately, put it up for sale for 5% profit, walk away, come back later, the money should be there. So, right, Is it is it realistic to hit the profit target of $500 per day with the pick of the day at 6%? It all depends on how much you put in. I'm not saying the pick of the day. Some people trade maybe one or two options. Other people trade ten options. If you trade, say, 10 options and it's, say, $5 an option, that's what, $5,000 you're putting in there. 6%, there's $300. So we're not suggesting to go for a dollar amount with the pick of the day. We're suggesting the pick of the day is a percentage gain of 6%. But can we do 6% trading $10,000? Absolutely, we can. Let's say for some reason we traded the $10,000 every day, right? And if we just, oh my gosh, we should be able to make, well, let's put it this way. If we make $500 a day, that's a 5% return on investment on the $10,000. Okay. That should be fairly easy. But we're not even going to go for that. We're not going to ramp it up to the $10,000 every day. We don't want to do that. We just want to trade five contracts at a time. Five contracts at a time. Now, if we make, $75, that's what we make. We make $160, that's what we make. If we make a 75 plus the 160, well, guess what? That day we made $235, right? If we do that every day, times 5 times 52, we made ourselves $61,100 for the year. That's how we're going to do it. We're going to make it so it's a little bit stress-free. Folks, it's 9:08 Eastern Time. I'm going to we're going to go to the contest now. Get a cup of, take a sip of my coffee here. Actually, it's hot chocolate. Okay, so here's the thing to do, folks. We're going to have our contest. The contest is, I want you to put in the chat, but not the chat box, the questions box, pick a number from 1 to 100. 1 to 100. The person closest to it is going to get the ebook. And tonight we're going to do tips, tricks, and traps. Tips, tricks, and traps. Take trips. I can't even say it. Tips, tricks, and traps. It's an ebook. I think it's about 40 some pages long. Put the number in the questions box, and I'm going to leave this here for about another, I don't know, 15, 20 seconds while everybody gets their number in. Then I'm going to pull up our DayTradeSPY random number generator. Random number generator. So we're just going to wait another 10 seconds or so here. And we are going to, and don't forget, of course, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to play the song, keep up the QR codes. And right after that, so take a picture of the QR codes. That'll direct you to all of those web pages. Scroll down to the bottom of the web pages to make your purchases. Then after that, you should get the survey very quick. Takes you 30 seconds to do it. It's just an idea as to where you see things going in 2026. And we're going to record these and come back a year from now and see how accurate we were in our predictions on this, okay? And how accurate you were in your prediction, all right? So it's going to be pretty cool. All right. So just stay put with that. And Get the little survey. I want to get that. All right, we're gonna pull in the okay. Ignore this number. That is not the number. That's from last week. All right. So I am going to. Okay, we're gonna cut off the random number generator. Who is it? Reggie. Reggie G. He got the. I think he got the last week's too. All right, we're gonna hit the button here, right here, and click on the number generator. Okay. I think if I hit this button right here. No, that's not it. Hang on a second. What number was that? This. I think I hit this button. 38. The number is 38. So I am going to go down, see who came closest to 38. Well, we got a lot of people here. A lot of people. Okay. If it's a tie, you both get the ebook. Okay. Now, if you already have the ebook and you want triumphs and tragedies, let me know that too. All right. Okay. All right. Let's see. Scroll down here. Okay. Irving, right. Irving is at 37. Irving S 37. Okay. 37. The number is 38. 38. Anybody come closer to that or no? Let me go back one more time just to make sure I've got everybody because a lot of numbers coming in here. Okay, so bear with me. I'm scrolling up here. So the closest we have 37, the number is 38. That's the winner. Okay, if you have 39, you're a winner as well, but you don't. Okay, it looks like Irving is the winner. Irving S is the winner. He came in at 37. Nice guess. Okay, cool. All right. Well, that's it, and we're going to wrap it up now. And I just gotta find my song. What I'm going to do is get rid of the random number generator. We'll save that for next week. And I'm going to wrap it up, folks. Listen, I want to thank you all for joining us here. And again, you've got about you got a couple minutes here. All right, so take a picture of those. And I hope to see you on all of the positions, actually. In a circle, DayTradeSPY signal. Pick of the day in the trading room. And of course, the survey is coming up right after this. By the way, wish you all a very happy and safe New Year and prosperous 2026.
Loud and clear, shout it loud and clear, loud and clear, loud and clear, loud and clear, shout it loud and clear. And there ain't no stopping now. You're the one, shine brighter than the moon and the sun. Be great at what you do, give it all of you, and trust the process and keep your eyes on the prize. I can tell you what I'm seeing. You